you guys started out 15, 20 years ago,
Well,
you'd have to go out and buy a lot of analogue gear.
You need like 30 to 50 grand's worth of, you know, equipment that's now redundant, effectively.
Yeah, and kids can now, you know, if they look in the right place, find evaluation copies, should we say, of a lot of the software and stuff. And
yeah, I mean, I think that's a positive thing because it enables more people to get into, you know, writing music. Certainly, the overheads aren't there, like you said. You know, for £1,000 you can have a really kicking studio, and you know, well-produced music of a standard that is as good as anyone else's. Obviously, with a little bit of experience and knowledge, but it's great that kids have got that. I say kids. It's great that the youth have got that. That at their fingertips.
Well, a lot of them are kids. Like some of the stuff I get sent, like 14, 15. You're like,
we get demos through all the time, and it is. Whilst a lot of it isn't at the stage where it's signable, it's certainly got potential. It's difficult. I mean, I will apologise to all those that are sending demos, and I haven't got back to them yet because we get so many. It's hard to stay on top of it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent coming through. Seriously, like another 6 months to a year, and some of the demos I've heard, I can hear. You know, I've had a couple of artists send in 2 or 3 demos over the course of the year, and with each subsequent demo, you can hear the improvement. Yeah. And it will only be like another, you know, 3 or 4 months for some of them before they're ready. I'm ready to say, right, definitely want to release.
That's all right. Yeah,
really good. So yeah, in that respect, it's really good. It is really good. But on the other side of things, it's easy to set up a digital label, and subsequently there is a lot of tosh in the digital market.
Yeah, kind of floods the market a little bit.
Which, you know, I think perhaps the vendors, you know, the MP3 sites could be a little bit more stringent with what they're allowed to go out there, because it doesn't paint a great picture if people's music isn't quite ready to be sold, but is out there being sold, you know.
So do you see a day when Next Generation becomes maybe a digital-only label and you're sort of competing in that domain only, or would you like to see vinyl continue? I mean, something for me, because I learnt on turntables, obviously. A lot of kids now, like my housemate, for example, is not interested in vinyl, not interested in decks. You know, he's
you. It's hardly surprising, isn't it?
Very nice, very nice. And yet you sign my music. So.
Yeah, I don't have to.
But yeah, I mean, he's only a couple of years. He's only a couple of years younger than me. He's 23, and he's like he's not interested in vinyl. He's, you know, I grew up with MP3s and Napster and stuff. I want a CD deck, and that's it. He's not interested in vinyl. Can you see there being a time when maybe the kids don't want to buy records anymore, and it is literally
let's face it. I mean, you know, there is a digital era, and it's infinitely more convenient to. I mean, you know, I can't. I'd be a hypocrite myself if I said I don't support digital formats, because, you know, we all play from CDs.
Yeah.
You know, when you're travelling up and down the countryside, you can carry in one wallet, you know, the equivalent of 10 boxes of records.
Yeah.
So, how much more convenient is that? You physically couldn't carry them into the bloody gig, let alone have that sort of selection at your fingertips. There wouldn't be room in the DJ booth in most of the clubs to play. So, whilst it is great to have vinyl, and I'm always a keen advocate of it, and I always prefer it because I'm, you know, from that era, I love vinyl.
Yeah.
I think we've got to a stage at the moment where vinyl is pretty much for those that are going to stick with it, and perhaps the collectors. So, you know, sales-wise, speaking to a lot of my colleagues and, you know, other label owners, they're all of a sort of pretty much unanimous opinion that that's where we're at. If a record was to, you know, back in the day, you could press a very average track and sell 15,000 copies.
Yeah.
You know, in the early 90s when everything was brand new. But, you know, these days, even the best, most slick, well-produced record, you know, will I think average top end figures are about 2,000 really.
Really, and that's the very biggest.
That's for a big anthem, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'd like to see more vinyl out there, but I mean, the other problem we have as a very niche genre is that, you know, hardcore isn't that well distributed globally, and digitally it's so much easier. Everyone's got internet, but not everyone's got a record shop. So, you know, and the cost of getting vinyl to far-flung corners of the earth, you know, even over to the States, you know, by the time they've added their tax and shipping on, it's really expensive. Whereas a download straight in your, you know, inbox or whatever, for minimal cost, and, you know, you can burn what, 12, 15 tracks on a CD and play them out that night, rather than waiting for a warped copy to turn up a month later. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So, talking about your gigs, I mean, you know, what would probably be your most memorable moment from DJing over the last 15, 20 years? I mean,
that's a difficult question to ask, and it's one that's I've been asked loads of times, because the thing is, I'm getting.
I told you I hadn't prepared, didn't I?
Yeah, cheers for that. You're just looking for old copies of Eternity. There's loads. I mean, one standout one was I can't remember which birthday party it was now. One of my birthdays at Kinetic where I got to choose a lineup.
Yeah.
I had total carte blanche on who played, so I chose a lineup, and we had over 3,000 people there. They had to open literally every available space that could legally take the public. They had to open, so the whole venue was open, wide open. It was absolutely wicked. I got given 2 huge birthday cards that had like hundreds and hundreds of signatures in them.
No way.
A huge birthday cake, and it's brilliant. And I've still got those cards even to this day. And occasionally, stumble across them when I'm looking for something in the attic, and I see the cards and have a good look through, and it still sends like shivers up my spine that night. But there's been so many, really, quite blessed in that regard. Been able to go to different countries, make new friends, and play to new audiences, and how many jobs can you say do that for you?
Well, none at all. That's it. And do you keep everything? So you keep those cards. Do you hoard? I keep some CDs, but there's things I've missed. Like
every time I go to the States, they're really into what they call kandy, which is essentially plastic bracelets that they make up. I've got so much
drawer full of that.
I know that you've experienced the kandy phenomenon. I've come back with stacks of candy every time I go out there, and I've kept everything.
Yeah, and you keep CDs and flyers and things like that. I mean, obviously there's going to come a day where you kind of say, I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm kind of out of storage space for paper flyers these days, but you pretty much every gig I play at now is advertised on the internet, so I've actually got like sort of digital backups now.
Yeah, soft flyers.
Flyers, yeah, just burn a CD load of flyers, and got a collection that way. So yeah, I am a bit of a hoarder.
That's good though. You've got something to show your grandkids or something one day, maybe.
It's not. I've got loads of dead bodies under my stairs.
Right, well, we're almost out of time, actually. I hope that wasn't too ill-prepared for you.
It's very good. I'm not sure about your socks, though, Garen. Gaz.
Well, oh dear, that's going to have to go in there now as well, isn't it? Okay, we're going to play one more record from new thing yourself and Alex Stormtrooper have completed in the studio, which a lot of people will recognise from the dance floors if they've seen you play in the last couple of weeks or even months. Yep,
it's quite a tongue-in-cheek track. Well, have a listen and see what you think. It's been going down really, really well, and it's one of those tracks that I put in my set, and always have a grin when I play it, and the crowd seem to really enjoy it. So yeah, check it out.
Okay, so this is Brisk and Stormtrooper Twatris. Nice title as well. Brisk, thanks for dropping in, mate. Much appreciated. And we'll catch you on a dance floor very soon, I imagine.
Wicked and bad. Catch you later, mate.
See you later.
Take care.